Welcome to the Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021, and we have two teams in a battle here in Bacolor. Two squads in the middle of the standings looking to pick up a win here to further move up and solidify their position for the playoffs. Anthony Stye here together with Diego, Dario, and Diego. This is a game that obviously both these squads definitely need to be able to come away with a win.
Yup, that's for sure. So the realistic goal here for NLEX and Alaska is to get a win and try to get the third, probably between the third and the sixth spot, so they don't have to have that twice to beat disadvantage when it comes to the playoffs. So it's very important for them to come up with W's, especially with the packed schedule here in the resumption of the PBA.
Unfortunately for these two squads, these are two of the 7 squads here in this conference that have not yet won back-to-back games. And so obviously for them, trying to find that groove has been quite hard.
Yup, that's for sure. And with Alaska, you know, they haven't gotten their rhythm. Every time they would play well, the next game they would have a little bit of some difficulties. But with the NLEX side on the other side, right here, as you can see the standings, NLEX at 6th and Alaska at the 8th spot. So what they have to do here is make sure they get enough wins so they can stay in the middle of the pack. As you can see, the other teams, they're trying to separate themselves to get that twice to beat advantage.
As much as possible, if you can make it to the top 2, that's what you want to have. But obviously, these two teams are realists, so to speak. And so they're figuring, okay, as long as we make it to the playoffs, and we'll take it from there.
Yup, that's for sure. And especially with the packed schedule here in the resumption of the PBA, it's really important for them to take the wins, take more wins as much as possible while their bodies are fresh and they're still not tired from all the games. They would have games every other day, so fatigue will really be a factor in the resumption of the PBA.
Right now, let's take a look at the last game here of NLEX, which was, from their point of view, a good one because they came away with a 14-point victory.
Well, NLEX in that game, they dominated the inside. They had 56 points in the paint compared to only 40 by Terra Firma, and their bench stepped up. So their second unit was there. They had 56 bench points, which is a familiar number for a Coach Yang Giao-led team. He really gives opportunities to a lot of his players coming off the bench.
But obviously, let's talk about one player that they will be missing, and that's why we're focusing there on Alas. We're going to be talking about him a little bit later on, but Kiefer Avena, the Phenom, is not going to be here for probably the rest of the eliminations and maybe even possibly during the playoffs.
Well, of course, you know, Kiefer Avena is the primary playmaker here for NLEX. He is averaging almost 16 points per game. He does everything for this team, almost 4 rebounds and averaging 6.5 assists per game. I think he's in the top 3 in the league, so it's going to be a big loss for the Road Warriors, and a lot of players will have to step up in order for them to get the win.
Right now, the question is, can that man who we saw a while ago, Kevin Alas, fill in the void? And those are really big shoes to fill here for young Kevin.
Well, there's no question that Kevin Alas can fill the void. He's been producing numbers for NLEX, averaging 18.5 points per game, almost 5 rebounds and 4 assists. So he's really doing everything that he could do with the minutes that he's been getting. So the question is, who's going to step up? Who's going to be the next man up for the NLEX Road Warriors?
Well, those are very good numbers here for Kevin, as long as he can keep it up. As you said, he can take that mantle of being the leader for the squad, but at the end of the game, who else will come up with those numbers needed to be able to fill the overall void? But right now, let's focus on Alaska. When you look at Alaska, they did have a couple of games, and you mentioned it, wherein they looked excellent, and then there are some games that they just look so poor.
So it's the consistency that's been the challenge for this Alaska Aces team. In their last game against Meralco, they had a tough time controlling their rebounds. They only had 42 rebounds compared to the 56 of Meralco, and the bigs of the Alaska Aces in Abu Tratter will have to step up for them to win this game against the NLEX Road Warriors.
When we looked at their early wins, this guy seemed to be the barometer. Talking about Mike De Gregori, he was the key to the offense. He did so well in their first couple of games, but then his numbers sort of dipped after that.
Well, we all know what Mike De Gregorio can do. He's a sharp shooter from the outside. When you leave him open, he's going to take that bucket, whether from the mid-range or the three-point shot, but he's going to have to step up more for his team in order for them to get up to the standings.
But obviously, he's been doing quite well. But that gentleman right there, a lot of the Alaska fans are wondering, when will he be the leader that they expected him to be. And Jerome Teng obviously has slowed down in the last couple of games.
Well, in the last Philippine Cup, he was out averaging 11 points per game. Now it has dipped to only 7.6. The rebounding, he will do that. He's a big guard. He has the size advantage compared to the others. But he has to do more. He has to step up when it comes to scoring. Probably shoot a couple of jumpers from the outside and try to create more for his teammates.
But when you look at the overall performance of all these players, it's just so hard. Just when they thought that they were finding the rhythm, all of a sudden we had to come to a stop.
Of course, that's for sure. You know, that 1 month break, almost a month break without basketball, and they were able to train probably 2 weeks before, 1 to 2 weeks before we started. I don't think that's enough time, but they really have to do that, and they have to, you know, they're professionals. They know what they have to do in order for them to stay in shape.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a good one on our hands here this afternoon. It's NLEX up against Alaska in just a bit.
This is the 2021 PBA Philippine Cup from the Don Honorio Ventura State University here in Bacolor, Pampanga. Our first game for today features the NLEX Road Warriors taking on the Alaska Aces. And now let's meet the starters. First, for the NLEX Road Warriors, a 6-foot guard from Las Piñas City, number 7, Kevin Alas. A 6'1" guard from Iloilo City, number 39, Jericho Cruz. A 6'6" center from Santa Ana, Pampanga, number 2, Michael Miranda. A 6'5" forward from Liloan, Cebu, number 14, Chris Porter. And a 6'4" forward from Siaton, Negros Occidental, number 3, Calvin Oftana. Head coach for NLEX is Yang Yao. And now the starters for the Alaska Aces. A 6'1" guard from Alcala, Pangasinan, number 13, Maverick Ahanmisi. A 6'1" guard from Manasiki, Pangasinan, number 3, Michael De Gregorio. A 6'5" center from Tabaco Albay, number 91, Rodney Brondial. A 6'6" forward from Siniloan, Laguna, number 2, Abu Schrotter. And a 6'4" forward from Quezon City, number 21, Jerron Teng. Head coach for Alaska is Jeff Cariaso. Our referees for this game.
There we have the starters: Alas, Cruz, Miranda, Porter, and Oftana for NLEX, Ahanmisi, De Gregorio, Trotter, Brondial, and Teng. Starting out for the Alaska Aces.
PBA Ituloy ang laban.
This tip-off is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. And welcome to our first game here this Thursday afternoon. Yes, you heard me right, Thursday, because we're playing games every day beginning on Wednesday. So Wednesday all the way until Sunday, PBA will take a 2-day break Monday and Tuesdays to fix their schedules for the week, and then back to the games once again.
That's a lot of basketball for the Filipino fans who are watching the PBA right now.
Stratter gets denied there by Alas.
What a great defensive possession there to start off the game for NLEX, and that's what you want, to start off the game well by getting a stop, forcing that 24-second violation.
Jago, how difficult is it for these players to be able to just restart after you shut down once again?
Well, of course, it's different. You've been getting your rhythm in the first few games of this conference as Alas gets that layup. But after a while, you'd have to take that 2 week break because of the quarantine classifications here in the Manila. They have to move all the way to Pampanga, so all the stress and all the breaks will have an effect for sure. But let's see if a lot of people got rest. A lot of injured players actually we were able to get that recovery.
Talking about San Miguel Beerman, they're glad that they have Terence Romeo back in action for their squad. But at the same time, for them also, still no Alex Cabagnot. But here you can see Alas getting to be able to score there. So he's doing quite well, but huge shoes once again to fill. And we talked about that during the pregame because they will not have Kiefer Avena available for them.
Of course, with no Kiefer Avena, a lot of numbers lost here for NLEX. But as Coach Yang Yao said, it won't be a quick fix. No one player can actually fill the shoes of Kiefer Avena. So it's going to be a team effort, a total team effort from a lot of players off the bench to fill up the shoes of Kiefer Avena.
Porter here on the line for 2 shots. He's a big man that can shoot the 3, but misses that free throw there. And maybe you could say Coach Yengia was preparing already for the eventuality because they knew before the conference began that Kiefer was going to be able to leave after this conference. So they've actually had Alas always starting, and then they have Kiefer coming off the bench. And so now you just have somebody else aside from Kiefer coming off the bench.
Yes, that's true. And that's why you can see Calvin Oftana is actually starting for NLEX now, and expect Coach Yang to actually go deep into his bench right now, especially with the short, season short conference. They packed the schedule close together. All the games are close together, so they would need some rest for the star players.
Well, the players are just happy to be back on the court. It's been quite a while since we had the stop, but the PBA has said that if things go back to normal in the Metro Manila area, they will be moving the games back. Right now, Pampanga here in Bacolor is the home of the PBA, at least for the next couple of weeks.
And NLEX with 2 quick points in the paint, so they're trying to attack, being aggressive on offense as Mike Di Gregorio misses on the 3.
One and done once again for the Aces. Cruz launches, no. And Misi will wait for the rest of the troops. Brondial on the outside. Now they find Teng. Teng might try to force the issue. And they're going to call a block here in Alas. Alas saying that Teng was out of position really more than anything else.
Let's see in this replay, Jeron Teng, aggressive against the smaller Alas, and he gets the foul there. I think that was a good call by the ref. Kevin Alas was on the side, not really in a good position to take that charge.
And Jeron did the right thing, put it up, just made sure if the foul was going to be called, I'm going to head to the line, and here I am making the first free throw.
And that's a good sign for the Alaska Aces. Jeron Teng trying to be aggressive early, trying to look for his spots, look for his scoring numbers to go up.
Split from the line, just 1 point here on the board. Coach Yang, as always, pacing the sidelines. Familiar figure.
Yep. The Alaska Aces here playing a bit of a zone here against NLEX, but Calvin Oftana with a strong drive, and he got fouled there on the left-hand layup.
And you can see why Coach Yang Yao is so high on this young kid. The way he just glides to the basket with a great set of ease.
Well, of course, Calvin Oftana, Gilas mainstay, 6'5", but he plays the wing, so it's really going to be interesting how his career will pan off here in the for NLEX and in the PBA. He can play multiple positions. He can play the 4, he can play the 3, he can play the 2 because he can shoot from the outside as well.
And probably one of the few players that's really in the groove because training with Gilas, they were given permission to be able to train even during the lockdown. It's 6-1 here. We're going to take our first break. We're just double checking if it's a full timeout or if it's a 30-second timeout. It's a full timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. One of the key players here for NLEX is going to be Raul Soyud, and people are saying he needs to be able to be ready to step up.
Of course, averaging almost 9 points per game, shooting efficiently from the field at 60%, and doing the dirty work inside with almost 8 rebounds per game. And he's been a hard worker for Coach Yang Giao, and he has always been ready for the opportunity to contribute.
We're going to be seeing him come off the bench, as always. Foul's going to be called Darren Cruz.
Now we talk about Jericho Cruz. I think he's the guy who can actually step up, produce numbers, while Kiefer Avena is out in Japan fixing his paperwork out there.
I totally agree. He also had a lot of international stints.
Of course, he played for Guam in that one window in the FIBA.
And that really helped him prepare here for this conference.
Yep, of course, because the games are really different compared to the, when you're just practicing, when you're just doing drills. It's really different when you're playing the games, the adrenaline and all the, communication that's happening inside the court.
They kick it out. Oftana's going to glide here. Kick it out. Miranda tries to go glass.
Great patience there by Mike Miranda. Got Abu Tratter on the pump fake, and he had an open look for that floater.
7-point lead now enjoyed by NLEX early. Porter's going to pick up that loose ball. Here comes Oftana once again. Thought about it. And promptly gives it up. Cruz. Miranda. Cruz for three. A little bit too strong. Adler says, let's wait. Abu Trotter will wait for the troops.
Gerontang here using the ball screen. And he can shoot. That's his favorite spot from there, but he misses.
Ball's going to stay here in this end. Still a 7-point lead enjoyed by NLEX. And Cruz looks over to Miranda, says, thanks for the pass. Just couldn't make the shot. I'll get you next time.
That's what they want. They want Jericho Cruz to be shooting those jumpers, especially he's going to be getting a lot of shots with Kiefer Avena out.
De Gregorio, shot clock winding down. Forces the issue, will miss. Brondial's there for the putback.
And Rodney Brondial with the cleanup, doing the dirty work inside, boxing out his man, and getting that offensive board with the bucket.
4 minutes gone here in the first period. Quick pace game here. Back to Cruz. To the corner. A little bit too strong that time from Porter.
And NLEX really loves to look for that three-point shot. They take a lot of three-point shots early in the game.
Tratter with a long two. Will miss. Last stops, pops. Misfires.
And that's almost 3 or even 4 three-pointers now for NLEX, but that's what Coach Yang Giao wants. If you're open, you gotta have the confidence to take those jumpers.
And Misi. Now to Trotter. Trying to bully his way in. And Misi puts up a three of him, so yes!
Great patience as well there from Maverick Misi. The defender thought he was gonna take the first one, took his time on the pump fake, and dropped that bucket.
Alaska now within striking distance. Miranda just short there. Hanmisi on the break. Brondial will blow that layup. De Gregorio gets there first though. Brondial once again. No look pass. A little bit too strong there for Jeron.
We can see a little bit of the rust since it's their first game after that 1 month break from playing actual basketball. So it's really a little sloppy when it comes to shooting and taking care of the ball in this game.
And you talk about sloppy play, that's exactly what happened there. 3 on 1 break. Not able to cash in.
So expect them to, settle down after a few minutes, try to get their rhythm back, try to get that game, the way they play. But that was just, that was a good pass, just couldn't handle the pass from Maverick.
Miranda very pleased with his performance there. That was 1 against 3. Those are numbers you don't want to have.
Yep, 4 early turnovers for Alaska. NLEX taking care of the ball, but still can make shots from the outside as Ebonia checks in for Alaska. He was out for an injury. One of the players who actually, you know, he liked this break for him because he had the time to recover in order for him to play basketball again.
So Alaska has a more complete lineup here. Coming off the bench. Big man. Not able to convert there. And some more new faces for both these squads. Still a 2-point lead enjoyed here by NLEX. Banal inside. Hands it off. And Misi for 3. Basket and 1. Looking to complete a 4-point play here, possibly, is Maverick.
2 3-pointers now for Maverick and Misi. He gets that jumper, but Jericho Cruz hits him on the hand on the 3-pointer, but great focus by Maverick and Misi. Still able to get that bucket and another opportunity in the free throw line.
Alaska now with their first taste of the lead. Maverick short there. Lead stays at 1. 8-0 blast here by the Aces.
And as you can see, the game's a little slowing down. They're settling down as Calvin Oftana gets another shot. They're getting their rhythm now as a few minutes have gone by in this game.
Di Gregorio thought about it once again. Bonya. Banal battling inside. Tratter tries to bully his way. Still nothing.
He's looking for a foul there. I think he got hacked on the shot, but refs call otherwise.
And Alas will head to the line for 2 shots. They're going to say foul on Mike Di Gregorio. And Abu's got something to say to the referees now.
See the drive here by Calvin Oftana, the spin move against the smaller Maverick and Misi. And that's what you get when you're 6'5" and you have guard skills. That's Calvin Oftana for you.
He made it look so easy.
2 free throws for Kevin Alas.
Kevin now on the free throw line here. He rushed that shot, as you can see, because he saw from the corner of his eye
That he was
that
inside.
the jumpers were
F1.
not yet ready.
Yep. So he's gonna have 2 more free throws even if he missed that first one.
That's why it looked like an odd-looking shot from the free throw line. And Misi wondering what's going on. He's getting 3 shots.
So this guy, Don Troliano, expect him to step up as well. And Coach Yang's actually putting up big wings. Actually, now that Kiefer Avena is out, he has that opportunity to go for big guards against the smaller guards of Alaska.
Banal now playing the 1. Off to the wings. Tratter's got that speed. Just can't get the layup to drop. You gotta like the move though.
Yep, great sweep there down low against the slower Macaloni, but he wasn't able to finish on the layup.
Alas once again. Shaking, baking. He's gonna head to the line. They're gonna give the foul here to Tratter. He can't believe it.
And that's what Kevin Alas does. You know, he's really aggressive. He's trying to go straight to the paint and create opportunities for himself and in the next possessions probably for his other teammates.
Kevin back to the free throw line. He had a split earlier. 3-point lead here enjoyed by NLEX. As Tratter continues to talk to the referee, saying, you got to give me some calls in the other end.
Two early fouls for Abu Tratter, and Rodney Brondial has to step in the game after he just got subbed. And Philip Panyamogan, expect him to step up as well. He can shoot from the outside.
Well, Panyamogan's a born scorer, so just give him the ball, he'll take the shot.
That's what he does, and those are the players that Coach Yang actually, loves putting in the game. Players who just shoot when they're open and not scared of that spotlight.
Brondial back in action. He started out this ball game. Banal from the side, no. Rogliani no rush. Then attacks, tries to create space. Short on that shot. Panyamogan is going to lose it. They rifle a pass inside, goes back out. And now they lose the shot clock. Brondial with the move, nice quick first step.
What a move there by Rodney Brondial. I think Daniel Defonso taught him a little bit of his tricks with that jab step, that shimmy step, before the opening himself up for the layup.
Boy, the bigs of Alaska have looked so much better. Panyamogan, as we said, he has not met a shot he never liked.
Yup, he's always going to look to score, always going to look for his shot. That's what he did there. He got fouled on the drive. 2 free throws for him.
Gonna have a timeout on the floor. NLEX still clinging on to a 3-point lead. We'll be back for more action in Bacolor in just a bit. Welcome back to Bacolor, Pampanga for the Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. Anthony Starr here together with Diego Dario, and so far, it's been a close one here, Diego.
Yep, both teams struggling in the first quarter, first few minutes of that first quarter, but now they've settled down. Couple of field goals, couple of free throws to settle down things for both teams.
Good look there at JR Kinyahan. He's been on the floor for about 2 minutes already of game time. Panyamogan now on the line. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first period.
2 free throws for Philip Panyamogan.
And as we said earlier, the short schedule, the short rest in between the games will actually be better for the bench players. They will have a lot of opportunities in the resumption of the PBA, so expect a lot of players to step up for all teams.
Well, you talked about the fatigue factor. The fatigue might start to come in maybe in about 2.5 weeks time.
Yep, after a few games that they've been, battling it out, their body aches, you'll feel it after a few games actually. So it's going to be important for them to recover and for them to get their rest, as Bartley Abonia scores his first points here in the Philippine Cup, his first game back from the injury.
That's why Coach Jeff really high on that gentleman there. He always battles. Kinyahan easily scores over him though.
Kinyahan answered back with a jumper of his own. That's his patented face-up jumper against big men.
Cassio's checked in. Robbie Herndon for 3. Rattles that one through.
That guy can shoot the lights out from the outside, so that's not a good sign for NLEX. You don't like this guy to get hot.
Back inside to the post. with JR. Just spins, hits back-to-back shots.
So JR Canyahan showing us a little bit off his footwork against the Daniel Defonso Tot big man. 2 quick buckets for JR Canyahan on the post.
Abuena thought about it. We'll give it out. Nice spin there. The corner, Casio. A little bit too strong. Trojano, 1 against 4. And they're gonna say it's going the other side.
Not too great of a decision there by Don Trojano. He attacked the paint with 4 guys on him, but I think he was looking for the foul right there.
Herndon in traffic. Will settle for 2 shots from the 15-foot line.
We talk about this Alaska Aces team. They actually have a lot of weapons, a lot of players who can score from the outside. It's just a matter of being consistent in every game so that they can have a chance to win more games in this conference.
Herndon a little bit too strong on that first free throw.
Subdivision getting hello for Philippine.
Actually, both these squads have struggled from the free throw line early on.
And Kenneth Ighalo checking in for the game, also a sharp shooter. So a lot of shooters for NLEX. Coach Yang loves to get those shooters, people who loves to take up shots.
Macaloni saying, what did I do?
14 foul for the Blue Warriors. Shot clock at 14 seconds.
Well, credit Alaska for going after that offensive rebound there. And it works in their favor. They're still trailing by 4. Brondial launches and will miss.
That's a sweet spot, top of the key 3, but he's missed 2 there in this game.
Macaloni. Well, he was free, and as you said, that's what Coach Yang Yao preaches. If you see daylight, take it.
Yep. So you can see the lineup of both teams. They're actually playing a tall lineup. Alaska only JV Casio is probably the guy under 6 feet, and with NLEX, everyone's above 6 feet. So tall lineup for both teams as Gab Banal hits that corner 3-pointer.
Brings Alaska to within 1. Under 10 seconds to be played here in the first quarter. Step back. Not gonna work. And here is where we're gonna end first quarter hostilities. It's a 1-point lead enjoyed here by NLEX. They're up 20-19. Welcome back to the Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. Anthony Sty here together with Diego Dario as we see that shot from Banal. And that brought their squad to within 1, essentially to end the first period.
Yup, and Gab Banal, a great pickup here for the Alaska Aces. He was out and down and back from PBA to the other leagues here in the Philippines, but now he's proving that he belongs here in the PBA. He's been producing great numbers for Alaska.
Second quarter.
Second quarter begins here. You're watching NLEX up against Alaska. NLEX with a 1-point lead. Second canto underway. JR trying to bring it closer. Hands it off. Ighalo hits.
And that's what Ighalo does. Catch and shoot three-pointer. He has a quick trigger, one of the quickest in the PBA, and he hits his first three for the NLEX Road Warriors.
Lead is back up to 4. So far, it looks like a smooth rotation so far for NLEX, despite the fact that they don't have Kiefer Ravena.
Yep, so they're using a lot of players early in the game. Coach Yang digging deep into his bench just to see who's going to step up, just to see who's ready after that long break before the resumption.
They're looking good. They're up by 4. Gonna go inside to the big man. JR will look to create. Tries to create for himself. And Barkley's gonna pick up a foul.
And the Road Warriors they have been going to JR Kanyahan on the post. They like his matchup against Ebonia, and he's been having a lot of advantages. He got 2 quick buckets against him and an assist to Kenneth Ighalo when he saw the double.
Makes that first free throw. Ebonia's gonna take a seat.
RK Ilagan getting minutes here as well for Alaska, the rookie from the San Sebastian program.
Now you're gonna have Alaska a little bit smaller.
So expect NLEX to go down low probably against the smaller guards of Alaska.
Handoff there. Herndon almost lost it. Banal launches and hits. He's got 2 threes.
Gab Banal with the confidence. That was a little further away from the three-point line. Not even free with the hand in his face. Still gets the bucket.
Cuts that lead in half. Here's JR once again. Casio getting in the way.
And usually when you go to the post, it's not always to look for the shot. As you can see, Gab Banal further away from the three-point line, contested, and he kisses the bench with 3 fingers.
Macalone gave him too much space that time. Now they got to double check if it actually did hit.
And I think that will count. It hit the rim.
Shot clock violation.
Oh, it doesn't.
That'll be nice to see once again. Because it did look like it ricocheted off the ring to come down.
Yep, so the shot clock should have been reset. But the refs call otherwise.
Of course, Coach Cheng not happy, and you can hear him screaming there on the sidelines.
Of course, they're all the way there in Pampanga. We're in a studio. We can still hear
Yeah.
Coach Yang's voice.
I think you can hear him just all over Pampanga. Coach Jeff a little calmer, at least for the time being.
So I think Coach Yang is not happy with the call of the referees.
As
Yeah,
it
but-
counts for Kenny Cano.
There you go. So after the offensive rebound, the shot clock should have been reset, and Kenneth Ighalo made the jumper, and he's going to be given 2 points. And NLEX with a 5-point lead now early in the second quarter.
Well, no protest there from Coach Jeff. I think he saw it also. He had one of the best looks.
Yep.
Some pressure being put here. That might be a delay of game on Ighalo because he stepped off the court.
Warriors Kenny Cano for delay of game.
And that's correct.
It's just the first offense, so they're not going to be able to do that anymore in the fourth period when it really counts and when some of the coaches want them to save that.
That's going to be called for a technical foul already if they do that.
Kasha gets away. Ilagan can hit that shot. Will miss though. reset the offense. Herndon. Still some time. Extra pass not gonna work.
So get another turnover for the Alaska Aces. Got to take care of the ball there.
JR with a shot, just short. Quicker pace here. And that's gonna be a foul on Kinyahan. That was clear.
Great no-look pass there from Gab Banal. He saw Rodney Brondial from the side, from the corner of his eye. Oh, that's going to be on Robbie Herndon. He saw Robbie Herndon cutting from the corner of his eye. The no-look pass. He got fouled.
Herndon struggling from the free throw line. He had a miss earlier and missed again here. Look at the free throw numbers for Alaska. 2 out of 7.
And I think probably still some of the rust from that 1 month break.
And when you say a break, it's literally a break.
Yep.
They could not step onto the court for any basketball action.
Only workouts from home, workouts just to keep in shape, but basketball-wise, not a lot of basketball for these guys during the break.
That's hard, you know, not to be able to do that, and then all of a sudden they ask you to play a full-blown game here, wherein you're still trying to find your rhythm. You're in shape, there's no question about that, but basketball shape,
That's different.
that's a huge difference. NLEX so far has been quicker to those 50-50 balls. Trollano for 3, a little bit too strong. Long rebound, and the Aces off and running once again. Herndon for 3, no.
So the pace is a little bit going up here in the second quarter. They're trying to look for easy shots in transition.
Now they slow it down. Kinyahan, a little bit too strong.
They like their chances there. JR Kenyan, a much taller player compared to Gab Banal.
Kinyahan just taps it out, so their defense can reset. A shot normally JR would make.
And it's a tough shot to block because he just shoots it way above his head. And only taller guys can probably reach that.
And there aren't too many players taller than JR Kinyahan.
Yep.
NLEX now off and running. Igalo. I wouldn't have been surprised if he just launched there. He's got the smooth stroke.
And as I said earlier, expect the guards of NLEX to go against the smaller guards of Alaska, but couldn't hit the turnaround jumper.
Herndon from the other side. Same result. Layup not gonna go.
So JV Casio here trying to slow things down. A bit of a back and forth.
Nice pass.
And that's what Gab Banal can do. Aside from scoring from the outside, aside from looking for his own shots, he's a great playmaker for his team. He actually plays the point guard, even if he's a little taller. And he can play multiple positions for the Alaska Aces.
Trollano. Short that time. A while ago, a little bit too strong. Looks like the players are huffing and puffing. And it looks like it. And the respective coaches see that. They're going to call a timeout here. Can be our first timeout here. This timeout is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. Welcome back to the action here in Bacolor, Pampanga. You're watching the Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. It's NLEX going up against Alaska here. To me, at NLEX actually showing the way most of the way, as we can take a look at the 31st pick overall, RK Lagan.
And RK Ilagan, coming from the San Sebastian program, we all know in his college days, he's a spitfire. He can shoot from the outside, even way beyond the three-point line. So let's see if his game translates here in the PBA.
Did very well in the D-League. I covered him for a couple of conferences.
He can score.
Yes, he can. And he's got range. That guy's got range. Finally hits 1 out of 3 from three-point country is Robbie Herndon.
And that's the confidence you want from your shooters. Even if he missed 2 3-pointers, the next one will go in.
Porter inside, double teamed, almost lost it. Porter did start out this ball game for NLEX.
And that's what Geronteng does. He sucks in the defense, forces the defense to help, and finds open shooters from the outside as Herndon knocks down the three-point.
92 blast here for Alaska. And Alas back in action once again. They need him.
And right away, since RK Ilagan is inside the game, the bigger guards of NLEX is trying to post him up down low.
14 seconds to shoot.
Cruz has been reinserted once again.
They're all trying to test the rookie here in RK as JV Casio sends the help.
That's gonna drop there for Jericho Cruz.
A great spin move there by Jericho Cruz.
So now essentially the starting lineup here for NLEX, except for Igalo.
Yeah, because Ighalo has hit 2 field goals now for NLEX, and Coach Yang likes what he's seeing.
Borna gives it up. Tang short. Nice sidestep. Porter gives it back. Cruz. Nice find, Miranda.
And great read there by Jericho Cruz. He had the shot, but he saw the big man closing out, and he has the speed advantage, forcing RK Ilagan to help on that drop pass. And he has no choice but to foul the bigger Miranda there down low.
And suddenly, NLEX has the lead once again. Miranda on the line for 2 free throws. Misses the first. And slowly, Coach Jeffrey has reinserted his starting lineup. Di Gregorio is back.
And
Misi is back as well.
And Misi subbing in for RK Ilagan so that NLEX will not have the chance to post up the smaller RK.
They removed that option quickly. Nice adjustment made there by Coach Jeff. Shot clock is at 5. Do they know it? Tang's gonna put this one up. And he'll come up short.
That's the part of the game that we would want Geronteng to flourish. You know, in college he was used to driving into the hole, just being aggressive, using his body. But in the pros, everyone knows that he's gonna be doing that. We expect him to work on his jumper. And once he does, he's gonna be scary what he can do here in the PBA.
The foul's gonna be called in Miranda there. He can't believe it. He felt he had the upper hand because he had the inside track.
And another rookie coming in for the Alaska Aces, Alex Stockton, a product of the FEU program.
No mask this time.
Yup. No Wakanda mask for
Yeah, I
Alex
know.
Stockton.
I was like, was that Stockton? Yes, it is. Where's the mask? Uh-oh. Alas goes down.
And Mike
He looks okay,
Gregorio. Yup. He saw Alas down low and he saw the open Geronteng. And that's where Geronteng lives. Inside the paint, even against bigger players. He just used his body to protect the ball and able to finish against the bigger Miranda.
Well, as you mentioned it a while ago, that's his game.
That's where he's used to operating.
Free throw not going to drop. Another free throw missed here by the Aces. I remember one of the earlier games, they missed over 10 free throws and they lost the game to Magnolia by 1.
It's going to be a thing to work on for the Alaska Aces. You don't want to give up, free points. Those are free points. No one's guarding you. Got to take advantage of those opportunities.
Stockton's going to pick up his first foul.
5 team fouls for the Aces. Substitution, Calvin Altana for Kevin Cano.
And here comes another starter for NLEX, for Igalo, in Calvin Oftana. So very quietly, Coach Yang Giao has his starters back in the game. Alas, no.
Alas hasn't really gotten his rhythm in this game, but a lot of players stepping up for NLEX.
Stockton, shaking and baking. Ahanmisi, short. He had 2 threes earlier. Foul's going to be called there.
Who's getting a little bit rough and physical between Jericho Cruz and Jeron Teng. 2 tough players just going at it,
Yes,
being
that's right.
competitive.
14 foul for NLEX. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
The referee says it was just tough basketball.
Just a regular foul.
Maverick to Tang. He's gonna come up really short there.
And I think it's the rhythm of his jump shot that's a little bit off. He's used to making jump shots in from the mid-range, but short than that one.
We're tied at 30. Cruz forces the issue, gets that to drop.
Great patience there again by Jericho Cruz. He saw Jeron Teng coming from his side, as you can see here. Great handoff play. And he took that extra step just to keep Jeron Teng off balance. Forced him to take that foul and the bucket by Jericho Cruz.
Cruz at 4 points. Blows the free throw. Both these teams really not taking advantage of that 15-foot line.
Jericho Cruz.
Explodes to the basket, overshoots. Boy, things are getting really heated here. I know they're excited to be able to play, they're excited to be able to be back, and they're showing it.
A little bit extra motion there after the action. But when Miranda's used to the physical play, as Alex Stockton not giving up here, and should be called for a jump ball situation.
The referee is just making sure they're on top of the situation, making sure nothing gets out of hand. Oftana comes away. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the second period. Tries to create space. Overshoots. Cruz mistimed his jump there.
A lot of players on the floor here. First it was Miranda, Stockton, now Mike Di Gregorio down low. So it's getting a little bit physical down low between these 2 teams.
Well, we said at the top of the coverage, both these squads in the middle of the pack, they need to be able to get a victory here.
Yeah, because the top teams are separating themselves, to get that twice to beat advantage. Now these teams are trying to, get away from that twice to beat disadvantage.
Almost a 5-second violation. They find Cruz. Cruz feels he's got the advantage over Stockton. Shoots over him, and 2 free throws coming up here for Jericho.
So great move there just to create space with a step back. And Alex Stockton not giving him space to land. So that's why he was called for the foul.
Can they make the free throws though?
2 free throws for Jericho Cruz.
Look at those numbers. 11 out of 15, 2 out of 8.
Not bad for NLEX. Alaska just 25% from the line in this game. I think they have to improve on that one.
Porter on the bench. Jerry Kenyahan back in action. Pretty good offensive night. Technically, we are in the afternoon, so still pretty good game so far here for Jericho to start things off. Getting away there! That is where Stockton shows you his foot speed.
Yep, Alex Stockton knows he's a little bit faster compared to Calvin Oftana. And that's what he does. He's always aggressive in attacking that paint, as he did there with the right-hand layup.
Oftana almost lost it. We're gonna have a ceasefire here called by NLEX as they protect a 2-point lead.
Quick first step here by Alex Stockton, looking away, and then goes the other way for that inside hand finish.
Gusto mo ba ng kakaibang viewing experience sa PBA? Register to join the PBA Virtual Fan Experience and become a bida fan. Dahil dito sa PBA, tayo ang bida. Registration link will be posted a day before each PBA game day on PBA, PBA Rush, TV5, and One Sports Facebook page.
And as you can see here, Alex Stockton earlier with that layup, the 21st overall pick for the Alaska Aces. Of course, a program of the FEU Tamaraws. And he's still doing what he's been doing in college, attacking that paint and being aggressive.
2-point lead enjoyed here by NLEX. 2.5 remaining here in the first half. Alas hangs, overshoots. Alaska looking to tie things up here, or take the lead with a 3-point shot. And Misi inside to the wing. That was telegraphed.
Jericho Cruz saw that coming from a mile away. He was going to pass it to that corner.
2 minutes.
Miranda on the outside. Inside to the veteran. Just shoots over the guard.
So every time J.R. Canyan is inside, NLEX is going to him on the post. They like his advantage there against the players of Alaska.
Nice look, lead pass. We'll draw a foul. It might be on Calvin. Or you can take Kevin as well.
Here. Bigger Kenyan against Banal. Just uses his body to create space, and that turnout jumper, he's been doing that ever since he's been in the PBA.
That's almost impossible to stop. Unless, as you said earlier, if you're taller than him.
And that's probably just a few players in the PBA that's taller than him. You know, Greg Slaughter, Junmar Fajardo, all the bigger guys.
Stockton gets away.
What a move there by Alex Stockton. The cross step into the inside hand finish.
And that was over Jerry Kenyahan. Oftana denied.
As you need the move here, the cross step, side step, and just too quick. Alex Stockton against JR Kenyahan.
Trying to answer back. Oftana comes up short, but out with the rebound. And here's Stockton once again. Is he feeling it?
He likes his matchups against the bigs of NLEX, but that time, just two big men towering over him.
Foul's going to be called there on Stockton.
Foul is on number 12, Alex Stockton, penalty.
And
That's
sometimes
his
when
third
you're a rookie, when you get
personal
like, two quick highlights like that, you just wanna, every possession you just wanna be aggressive. But he'll learn once to get that patience, not every possession that he can attack.
He was feeling it. Coach, I was feeling it. Oftana, a little bit too strong, and because Banal was in the area, they're going to give him 2 more shots.
What do you think of that rule, Anthony? This was the first shot. No one could have just rebounded that one, but
I agree with you. I mean, you know, sometimes it just throws you off, yes, but at the same time, it's a rule. So from the player's point of view, they've got to be aware that these are the rules that are being enforced.
they have to know that and just not give up easy points from the free throw line. That's an extra attempt for Calvin Oftana.
And now he makes both free throws instead of being 1 out of 2.
Yep.
But I get your point. Sometimes, you know, something like that doesn't really bother a player.
Yeah.
But the rules are in place and it's got to be enforced. There's Stockton once again. Rondial gives it up. Di Gregorio. Di Gregorio left open. Misses though. Rondial gets that rebound. Hanmisi. Here's Stockton. Kicks it back out. And Hanmisi hits. He's got 3 3-pointers in the ball game.
And Ahan Misi loves doing that after that shot fake because he knows the players will close out against him. And he just takes his time after that pump fake or the 3-pointer.
Time down to 2 seconds. Cruz overshoots.
And halftime, it is 38 for the NLEX Road Warriors.
And it's just 1 point separating both these squads. It has been a nip and tuck affair from the get-go. We got a good one on our hands. 2 quarters in the books, and it's a 1-point lead by NLEX at 38-37. It's halftime here at Bacolor, Pampanga, and we find NLEX up by 1, 38-37 over the Alaska Aces. Let's take a look at what transpired here in the first 2 quarters.
And Jericho Cruz, one of the guys who's stepping up with the absence of Kiefer Ravena with that sidestep move. And this guy, Alex Stockton, stepping up, the rookie, with a great and fast drive there. Very aggressive player in Alex Stockton. And JR Kenyahan living in the post. A lot of turnaround jumpers for him in this game.
Right now, let's take a look at the halftime stats brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
So NLEX shooting bad from the 3-point line, only 1 out of 10 from the 3-point area, while the Alaska Aces, one of the best shooting teams when it comes to the 3-point line. 7 out of 20 here in this game on the free throws though. 2 out of 8 for Alaska, 15 out of 19 shooting well from the free throw line is the NLEX Road Warriors. and the points off the turnovers. NLEX forcing a lot of turnovers in that first half, giving them easy buckets in transition.
Now we got leading scorer of both these squads. You have Kinyahan there leading with 8 points. Cruz has helped him out there with 6, same number as Alas and Oftana. So those three there in the middle, you have the starters. On the other side, Ahanmisi with his 3 threes leads the charge, leads all scorers in fact with 9 points. Robbie Herndon coming off the bench has got 7. Banal with 2 threes also has 6.
So a total team effort for the NLEX Road Warriors. Kevin Alas just with 6 points. Expect him to be more aggressive in this second half.
A lot of times, Diego, when a team shoots 1 out of 10, you'd expect them to be behind.
Yup, that's for sure. But you know, with the NLEX being aggressive, attacking that paint, they're getting a lot of fouls. So that's what canceled out the bad 3-point shooting night. I mean, afternoon for the NLEX Road Warriors.
Well, they got 15 points off free throws, and so that made it so much easier for them.
Yep, compared to only the 2 from Alaska. But Alaska, they love shooting from the outside. They don't really look down low in the post just to, you know, take it strong in the inside. They love shooting outside shots and fast break layups.
Well, we haven't seen too much of Abu Tratter because remember, Tratter did so well in the first couple of games here this conference.
And now Abu Tratter starting here in the third quarter. And also Yusef Taha hasn't actually been getting minutes here.
That's
for
right.
the Alaska Aces. He's been playing well for them in the first few games of this conference.
They sort of had a very good tandem. It was like a twin tower effect when you had Tratter and Taha, but so far, no Taha at all here today.
We saw Coach Jeffrey Carriazo giving Ebonia some playing time as you know he's recovered from that injury.
Kinyahan misfires from 3. Welcome to the second half here between NLEX and Alaska. Anthony Starr here together with Diego Dario. Inside, Ahanmisi. He's in double figures.
And when Alaska goes to the post, it's not really for the big men to score. They have a lot of weak side movement, and that's what we saw there. Mava and Misi open on that cut.
Alaska retakes the lead. They've been trailing most of this match. Kinyahan try to go inside. Kinyahan launches a 3. That rattles out. Trying to go low inside. Tratter, basket and 1.
There you go. You were looking for Abu Tratter being aggressive. That's what he did right there. Of course, he has the size advantage when it comes to height, and also his body is way bigger compared to Chris Porter.
Still can't get the free throw to drop. Poor free throw numbers continue for the Aces, but they're up by 3. Here's Alas, kissing it off the glass.
Just so smooth. Kevin Alas, although he's very aggressive in attacking that paint, he's never in a rush.
They're gonna bring it out. Quick shot here from Di Gregorio, a little bit too strong.
Mike Di Gregorio not getting his rhythm in this game. And I had the chance to be teammates with Mike Di Gregorio. Usually when he misses his first few shots, it's really going to be an off night for him. But when he gets it going, like this guy, Mava and Misi, he's going to get it going all throughout the game.
And Misi now with 14 points in the contest. That's off 4 threes. Trolliano falling away a little bit too strong. NLEX looking to really go 1-on-1 more than getting their teammates involved.
Benton Trolliano, actually the 5th leading scorer here for NLEX, hasn't really gotten his rhythm as well. But Mava and Misi tries again.
That was a heat check.
Yep.
More than anything else, he was really feeling it. Kinyahan, that's a long 2. Alas for 3. Boy.
A lot of 3-pointers being thrown up here in this third quarter.
Despite the fact that the numbers aren't favoring them from three-point distance. Inside now to Brondial. Good defense there by Cruz. Alas hands it off. Trollano gets blocked.
Great block there by Rodney Brondial, not giving up on the play on that 2-on-1 opportunity.
And Brondial creates some space.
Defense to offense, Rodney Brondial getting that block, stopping the fast break, and running down on the other side to get that layup.
Quick timeout going to be called here by NLEX. It's a full timeout. This timeout is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. Maverick Anmisi has been on fire today.
And that's his role, Mavan Misi, getting kick out passes, hitting his buckets from the outside, already has 4 threes. And even with the contact, he's still able to finish on that 3-point opportunities.
Well, his teammates are now looking for him, and he's actually looking for his shot a whole lot more than I have seen this conference.
Yup, that's for sure. I think, he's trying to be more aggressive, more, looking for his shots, as you said, and it's working for the Alaska Aces.
Kinyahan denied. Seems like NLEX is rushing their shots here, Diego.
Yup, they're looking for the threes, looking for jump shots. I think they should move the ball more and try to look for open opportunities.
Tratter. Double team's gonna work, but the ball will stay here with the Aces.
5.6 seconds on the shot clock.
Just about 5 seconds remain in their shot clock.
Mike DiGregorio with that jumper, finally his first field goal made here in this game.
Well, we're just getting word that the swab results of Yusef Taha has not yet come in, and so he's not allowed to play yet. Here's Teng all the way inside.
And again, inside buckets for Jeron Teng, that's where he lives. But talking about Yusef Taha, you're playing in a different situation now than ever before. We all have to be safe. Safety will always be the priority. Health and safety of everyone.
But despite the fact that they don't have one of their leading big men, they're up by 10. Kinyahan hits. That's going to stop the bleeding a bit.
Another mid-range bucket for J.R. Kinyahan. He's been aggressive in this third quarter, taking a lot of shots.
That's high off the glass. And Tratter hits once again, the lead back up to 10.
A soft touch by Abu Tratter. He likes this matchup against Chris Porter.
Steal.
That's happened twice now for Alaska. They have a clean, fast break, but still can't handle that pass. It's Mike DiGregorio from Maverick Anmisi.
Brondial not happy, but he'll be replaced. Robbie Hearn is going to check back in. Quick rotations here from Coach Jeffrey Carriazo. All his players are fresh. And they've got a 10-point lead to boot.
What you love about Maverick is he just doesn't do it on offense. He's also a great defender, actually, trying to stop the best players on the other team. As right now, he's guarding Kevin Alas.
Doliano kicks it back out. Kinyahan. And now that you have NLEX struggling to find their offense, this is probably one of those times that you miss Kiefer Ravena.
Yup, that's for sure. Because sometimes you just give the ball to Kiefer Ravena. He's gonna make it happen. Whether he's gonna look for his shots or make his teammates open and get them open layups just like that, like Jericho Cruz. As we all know, Kiefer Ravena top 3 in assists, so he really creates a lot of opportunities for his team. High IQ basketball player.
But now you got to go to war with the troops you have. Short that time is Teng. NLEX looking to cut down this deficit even further. Are they going to give him 2 shots? Well, he's asking for it. Alas is.
Here's the play, Jericho Cruz. He was looking at that ball screen, but he rejects it. No help ready for the Alaska. Easy layup for Jericho Cruz.
Just a side court throw in here. Kinyahan. Inside, and 2 free throws coming up here for the big man.
And this is what you like from your veterans, from your leaders. You know, even without Kiefer, he's being aggressive, trying to make things happen for his team. J.R. Kenyahan scoring on every time that he has the opportunity. That time he got fouled.
2 free throws for the captain here of the NLEX Road Warriors. Makes the first. Trato will be replaced. Brundial comes back in. So now the big man rotation of Coach Jeffrey a little bit hampered.
Yup, that's for sure. That's why, you know, Barkley Ebonia's getting his minutes, Rondial's getting his minutes, and, you know, they're quick substitutions among the big men so that they won't get tired and be able to go with the pace of the NLEX Road Warriors.
Lead has been cut down further. Rondial thought about it. Quick passing here, Ebonia.
And again, Alaska going to the post, but not
Welcome back to the Honda PBA Philippine Cup 2021. Anthony Sty here together with Diego Dario. We got a battle between NLEX and Alaska. Coming to you here from Bacolor, Pampanga.
And we were talking about this guy, JR Canyahan, being aggressive already with 12 points and 3 rebounds. He likes his chances here in the post, and that's where he lives. A lot of turnaround jumpers, as you can see here, and that's just money for JR Canyahan.
He's made a living out of that shot. And here comes NLEX. Alas, slicing to the middle.
A smooth move again there from Kevin Alas, using the side step to get the room and the window for that right-hand layup.
And the lead is down to 2. As one stood at a high of 10. Banal can't get it to drop. Here comes Troliano. Good transition defense by the Aces. You can see NLEX being very patient. Cruz gets away.
And as you can see, Jericho Cruz likes rejecting that ball screen, not using it. Just trying to fake the defenders into going to the ball screen. And aggressive in that drive is Jericho Cruz. Looking at the camera, he's fine.
I think he knew the camera was there.
Yep.
Just getting some additional airtime. Saying hi to the family.
Of course, all of these players are making a sacrifice, working away from their families, not spending time just to play basketball and give a lot of basketball fans the games that they want to watch. He got hit here by the head. I think the referees are checking if it's going to be a regular foul or a flagrant foul.
Again, looks like just another one of those hard plays that you have here.
That's his second, third for Alaska.
I think he was going for the ball there, just a little bit short because Jericho Cruz is a little bit faster.
Good numbers here so far for Jericho. 8 points, 2 rebounds.
4 steals for Jericho Cruz. Two-way player here for NLEX. Aggressive on offense and also on defense.
Some more to shock troopers coming back in. Herndon will take a seat. Stockton back.
Stockton had a great first half with a bunch of drives, aggressive drives. Let's see if he continues his play here in the second half.
NLEX continues to take advantage of that free throw line. It's a 9-0 run here by NLEX, and here's Stockton, overshoots. Shot clock down to 4. Canyahan with a block from the back.
Great defense there by NLEX. A lot of help coming in from the weak side, not allowing easy drives for Alaska.
That's not going to beat the shot clock.
That's what you want if you're NLEX. You're having a run here against Alaska. You have to continue to do good things on that defensive side.
NLEX trying to retake the lead here with his offensive thrust. Miranda left open. Gonna come up short there. Banal inside that paint against a double team. That's gonna be last touch on him.
He was looking for a foul there, but Jericho Cruz always sneaky on that weak side. You'll never know when he's coming. He tapped that ball out of Gab Banal's hands.
That's just taken away.
When they thought Alaska had the basketball, NLEX was there to grab it right back.
1 point lead here, still enjoyed by the Aces. Trullan's gonna bring it out.
Again, Kenyahan down low on the post.
Perfect move.
And just very patient, a smart player on the post is JR Kenyahan. He was hitting that turnaround jumper earlier and he knew the defender was going for that pump fake.
And the lead is now back to NLEX. Two and a half remaining here in the third period. Brondial. Extra pass, finds Banal.
And Jericho Cruz not happy with that call.
It'll be nice to see that once again. Jericho saying he got out of the way. But the foul was called. This is the previous play.
So he's been hitting that shot, so two defenders going up. And that's just a great read there by JR Kenyahan. A lot of times in basketball, Anthony, the last possession will always be connected to the present possession. So right there, JR Kenyahan has been hitting his turnaround jumpers. He knows that the defense will bite on the pump fake. And that's what he did there for the easy step-through layup.
Another miss here from Banal from the free throw line, and the free throw woes of Alaska continues.
Okay, last throw. Last throw, okay? Okay.
And these are all very good shooters.
Yep, Banal can hit it from deep. So Alaska putting pressure in the backcourt, trying to delay the offense of NLEX. Again,
We're just
JR
getting a report
Kenyahan.
here, Diego, about the fact that Soyud has not been fielded in. Coach's decision because he's nursing an ankle injury. So they want to make sure that he's at 100% before they send him back in.
Which is really understandable, especially now with the short conference. You don't want any players injured. You want them to be available at 100%. But that's a big loss for NLEX. Raul Soyud is their third best scorer, averaging 9.3 points per game. So expect some players to step up.
Can you imagine you're asking so much from these bench players? You need them, they need to step up because of Kiefer, and then now the big men need to step up because there is no Soyud.
And that is why JR Kenyahan is being very aggressive because he's one of the big men that they can rely on.
Baby hook, not gonna work. There's Trulliano with an offensive rebound. Why not try to go back into your captain? That's exactly what they do.
Post.
Back to the free throw line here.
And in the PBA, a lot of coaches, a lot of players are smart. They know where the advantage is. And they're going to challenge the defensive team to adjust.
Back to the free throw line for the big man.
Yep.
2 free throws for JR Kenyahan.
If it's working for NLEX, why change it?
But then suddenly the three-point shooting on the other end for the Aces, that was what worked in the first half. Now started to go sour.
So I think that was one of the defensive adjustments of Coach Yang Gao. They're trying to close out on that three, forcing the Alaska players to drive more into the paint.
What was once a 10-point lead for the Aces is now gone. They're down by 2, and a foul is going to be called there on Trotter.
Loose ball foul on number 2 on
Momentum
Trotter.
still with NLEX here.
Substitutions.
Alaska not getting anything from their offense.
That's 5 team fouls for the Aces.
Gala's going to check back in. He hit a 3 earlier.
Alaska, actually a good thing here. They're trying to put pressure, trying to force turnovers and delay. And that's what they did, force the turnover and get easy buckets in transition, but he gets called for the offensive foul.
They're going to say he stuck out his leg.
Alex Stockton, that's his 4th personal foul.
That's going to be his 4th. Watch it here.
Put up his leg and he kind of kicked Panyamogan in the torso right there. And he's not happy with that call.
Two-point lead still enjoyed here by NLEX. Under a minute.
Mismatch here. Panyamogan, the guard against the big man. And he can make that. He's a scorer. He can shoot from the three-point line, and that's what he did over the taller Abu Trat.
You've got to be in his face.
Yup,
We
that's
talked
for
about
sure.
it in the first half, Jago.
At least make him drive, make him do a lot of moves before his shot.
De Gregorio answers with a long two.
And Mike Di Gregorio getting his rhythm now. He hit that jumper in the third quarter. Now 2 buckets for him in this one.
Almost another steal, but that's going to be the 5th foul here on Stockton.
Alex Stockton a little bit too aggressive. It's his 5th foul. And to add to that, Alaska's in the penalty. So 2 free throws for NLEX.
Shooting 2, Philippine Panyamogan.
Panyamogan just hit that 3. Now he's got 2 free throws coming up.
Coach Yang was correct. It's not one guy that's going to step up to fill the shoes of the missing players in Raul Soyd and Kiefer Avena. It's going to be a total team effort from a lot of guys on the bench. And Philip Panyamogan, Kenneth Ighalo, and even Calvin Oftana getting their points here to contribute to the NLEX total.
Panyamogan misses that free throw. One final possession here, and it belongs to the Aces before we usher in the 4th.
Expect them to get the last shot here, trying to milk the clock.
NLEX has one more foul to give. They opt not to give it. That rattles out. That was halfway in. And Di Gregorio got hammered from the back.
Almost hit that shot. And the NLEX Road Warriors, Kevin Alas leading the way with 12 points and 5 rebounds. And doing it the way he wants to do it, which is inside the paint, attacking the rim for layups like that. Such a slithery finish from Kevin Alas. He just sweeps through the big man.
Substitution, Larry Ayusi for Alex Stockton.
We got 3 games tomorrow. Magnolia up against Blackwater Bossing. Ginebra up against Terra Firma. And we also have our 3rd game. So again, 3 games Wednesday, 2 games Thursday, and 3 games on Friday.
And a lot of those teams had games yesterday, so only 1 day of rest in between the games. That's going to be interesting what strategies the coaches will do, especially with the rotations and the minutes of the players.
Our 3rd game tomorrow at 6 in the evening is going to be TNT Tropangiga up against the Meralco Bolts. Banal, a little bit off to the left as we see that quarter scoring.
And NLEX having that run in that 3rd quarter, giving them the 4-point lead to start off the 4th.
Ighalo for 3, yes!
And Kenneth Ighalo, what a way to step up. 2 threes and a fadeaway earlier. So a welcome sight for Coach Yang Giao.
Zratter, short, gets his own rebound. Still nothing. Panyamogan pushing. Igalo thought about it. And why not? He's finding the rhythm. Panyamogan with the left hand. Igalo's there though.
And great
gonna lose
effort
it.
there by Kenneth Igalo, not giving up on the play. But the ball goes to Alaska.
Panyamogan thought he got the basket there with that lefty.
That was a great move. Almost in and out. So the bench points, NLEX, a lot of players stepping up. 30-20 advantage.
Nice look inside. They go outside. Di Gregorio hits.
And Mike Di Gregorio getting his rhythm now. 2 buckets in the third quarter, hitting his first 3-pointer of the game. So expect him to look for the shot more in this fourth one.
Porter, long two. A little bit too strong. Hanmisi with the rebound. And here come the aces once again. Casio. Not that time. Igalo with the rebound.
So if you notice, the role of JV Casio in this conference hasn't really been his usual role as compared to his earlier years in his career. Now he's more of a facilitator, making sure the right plays are called.
He was a lights-out three-point shooter in college.
Yep, that's for sure.
Panyamogan, no. Couple of misses from both these squads to begin the fourth. And a foul's going to be called there on Calvin.
And it's going to be 3 free throws for Mike Di Gregorio, getting 3 easy baskets there against the rookie in Calvin Oftana.
That's a smart play there from Mike.
So a lot of times these rookies, they usually call this here in the PBA, when you reach your hand out there near the basketball, it's just easy to hook that and draw a foul. Usually in the UAAP and the college leagues, they don't really call that.
Even in international ball.
Yep.
Looks like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the NBA is moving away from that as well.
Yep. So if it's an unnatural shooting motion, just to draw a foul, they won't be calling it, and it's going to be an offensive foul, probably sometimes. So interesting rule, interesting how they're going to be doing it.
Let's see if the PBA continues to keep that rule in for the next season, but right now, it was introduced, and so it's here to stay. As we take a look at the team standings, both these squads, as we talked about it at the top of the program, are right in the middle of things.
Yep, they got to make sure to rack up some wins, especially early, while the teams are still adjusting after that long break. They want to make sure to take advantage of some of the rust that some teams are experiencing here in the resumption of the Philippine Cup.
If you're just joining us, we also mentioned the fact that these two squads are 2 of the 7 squads that have yet to have back-to-back wins here this conference. So really, they need to be able to settle down. They need to find their groove and find their rhythm.
So it's the consistency of these two teams that have been the problem. Mike Di Gregorio, a high percentage free throw shooter. It's all 3 of his free throws.
And the lead is now just down to 1. It has been a real seesaw battle. That's going to be an 8-second violation.
And a great job there by the Alaska Aces, putting pressure, trapping Philip Panyamogan at the side of the basketball court. So if there's pressure, you don't want to go to that side of the basketball court because that's where they're going to be trapping you. You want to make sure the ball stays in the middle of the court while bringing it down.
Di Gregorio for 3, yes!
And we were talking about it earlier. When he gets it going, once he hits that first shot, he's a streaky shooter. He's going to be looking for his shot, and right now, back-to-back 3-pointers for Mike Di Gregorio.
Alaska now with the lead once again. Oftana, no. Igalo with the offensive putback.
athletic move there, a rare athletic move there by Kenneth Ighalo over Mike Di Gregorio.
We're tied at 64. Just the third deadlock of the ball game. They left Banal open. Doesn't make them pay. Trotter hits a deck, and that's going to be a foul on the NLEX Road Warriors.
So Gab Banal, after hitting 2 3-pointers in the first half, hasn't gotten one here in the second half.
Foul number 2, Michael Miranda. That's his third. Second for the Road Warriors. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
They got a brand new 14 on the clock.
And Abu Tratter trying to ask for the ball in the post against the smaller Chris Porter.
Holding foul on number 9, Philip Panyamogan. His first 3 for the Road Warriors.
Panyamogan's going to pick up his first personal foul. Second team foul here for NLEX in the fourth period. Alaska still with a clean slate foul-wise. There's Trotter once again. Goes to the corner. And Misi! Not that time.
And with the strong first half of Maverick Anamisi up until the early parts of the third quarter, he hasn't been really getting his touches here in the fourth.
Octana. Steal there for Casio.
And another turnover forced there by Alaska, using the full court press, and another one. Oh, but the refs say it stays with the NLEX Road Warriors.
Subdivision Kevin Alas for Philip Panyamogan.
So Coach Yang puts in Kevin Alas, a better ball handler, just to avoid more turnovers from the backcourt.
Look at the fast break points.
8 fast break points caused by the turnovers, and 0 for NLEX.
Walking foul on number 77, Yagban. His second, 1 on the aces.
So it's a back and forth. Alaska making a run here after the NLEX run that cut the lead from 10 double digits.
Alas kicks it out. Ighalo for 3. Rattles that one through.
How about the pass from Kevin Alas? Didn't even look at Kenneth Ighalo. He just knew he was going to be there, and Kenneth Ighalo finished the play with a 3-pointer.
NLEX back up by 1. We promised you a good one. And it's proving to be every inch of a nail biter. Benal kicks it out. Di Gregorio for 3. No. Miranda clears the board.
The confidence of Mike Di Gregorio. Even missing 2 straight, he's gonna attempt that in the next possessions.
Alas wants to win.
What a move again by Kevin Alas against the athletic and outstretched arms of Abu Tratter.
He makes it look so easy.
I think the big men already know what he was gonna do, but they just couldn't stop the drives of Kevin Alas.
Foul's going to be called on Oftana. Halting the action, and that's going to be the third team foul for NLEX.
So again, the move here, using the ball screen, he fakes the middle of the side of the court, and that's just enough for him to get the angle for that layup.
We got a timeout on the floor. This timeout is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. Let's take a look at the highlights here of Kenneth Igalo.
And we were talking about players who need to step up in this ball game in the absence of their stars. Kenneth Igalo is the one doing that. Very efficient, 5 out of 6, already with 13 points in just 15 minutes. So very efficient display here by Kenneth Igalo.
Another one of those players that has really come to the forefront
And he
because of the fact that they don't have Kiefer Avena.
He doesn't really need the ball a lot, you know, in his hands. He just needs that open window, open opportunity for him to take that three-pointers. Just catch and shoot, not a lot of fancy moves. Very efficient and very simple is Kenneth Igalo.
Shooting 2, JV Casio.
Kasha now on the line for 2 shots after that inside incursion.
If you look at the assist numbers, Alaska already with 17 assists, while NLEX only
Substitution on the
with 9. So a lot of the shots of NLEX coming from dribble drives, coming from isolation situation. Meanwhile, with Alaska, they move the ball around, try to look for open shots.
2 for 2 there for JV. The lead of NLEX once again whittled down to just 1.
Kevin Alas, expect him to use another ball screen here.
That time gets denied by Brondial.
Brondial knew that Kevin Alas was going with that right hand. Great timing there by Roddy.
Kasha for 3. Overshoots. Alas gives it up. Oftana puts it up and in.
Great move there by Calvin Oftana. I thought he was going to pass the ball. He didn't have space to for that shot, but great English with the spin off the backboard.
Extra pass. Brondial won't get that to drop. Alas slammed into the A-board.
There's not a lot of space actually to move around on the sidelines here. You have to be careful with that.
He looks okay.
And you see here the move of Calvin Oftana. He thought he was going to pass it, but he saw an opportunity for that quick reverse. A great touch by the rookie.
71-68, NLEX up by 3.
Substitutions, Jericho Cruz for Calvin Oftana. Durante for JV Casio.
Welcome back to the action here as we take a look at the streaks of the respective squads, and Tropang Giga leading everybody +3.
And TNT playing well in this PBA Philippine Cup, you know, with their new coach in Chot Reyes. Haven't gotten a loss.
Well, a nice streak also for Meralco.
Yep, after that big win against Magnolia yesterday.
What a huge victory.
Comeback win. Last 2 minutes, they were down double digits. As Kevin Alas, another layup with the bucket.
It's looking like a replay that we're just watching over and over again. He's done this countless times.
And he's using it after the ball screen. He's just using his speed against the defenders of the Alaska Aces. And I think they knew it was going to come, but it's just hard to stop. Kevin Alas a great player, great drives.
Nobody wanted to inbound that ball. Lead is back up to 6. Still a lot of time remaining, especially after what you just talked about. 13-point lead enjoyed by Magnolia, and they still lost the ball game in the last 2 minutes. That's going to be a turnover.
Of Mavan, his foot. A little bit of a close one there, but the refs can't go to the replay yet until it's the last 2 minutes of the ball game.
So the call stands. Nice handoff, Ighalo once again.
And again, Kenneth Ighalo doesn't need the ball a lot in his hands. Another great cut, great find by Kevin Alas. 2 points for Kenneth Ighalo.
Getting back in the ball game. Now we got the starting unit back for the Aces. Brondial picks that one up. And Misi for 3. Yes.
Finally, after hitting a couple early in the game, Mavan Misi with his first 3-pointer here in the 4th quarter.
That's going to keep them within striking distance. Under 5 to play. Cruz to the captain. Jericho.
And Jericho Cruz doing a Kevin Alas there, using his speed against the big man of the Alaska Aces.
That was an identical shot. Back on the outside. Tratter will try to create. Traveling going to be called there. Miranda just pulled the chair.
Yep, that's what it's called for the fans out there, pulling the chair, not meeting force with force, just stepping back and making Abu Tratter fall off balance.
NLEX with the offense and with a 7-point lead. Trying to put away Alaska. Jumper for Cruz works.
And Jericho Cruz with back-to-back buckets, 1 layup and 1 mid-range jumper. That's his shot.
No timeout here called by the Aces, and a foul is going to be called. It's going to be on Alas.
3 free throws again. As you can see, Jericho Cruz, Mavan Misi goes under the screen, and that's what you have to do when you're the offensive player. You got to make them pay when they go under the screen. So Mike DiGregorio gets another foul from the 3-point line, just sweeping his hand through the outstretched arms of the defense.
A while ago, he made 3 out of 3.
And back when we were teammates in Blackwater, Mike DiGregorio is one of the hardest workers here in the PBA. He would be in practice 2 to 3 hours before. He has this routine. He does it every day. He doesn't fail to miss those kinds of routine, around 200 to 300 shots per day. And that is why he is deadly from the 3-point line and doesn't miss from the free throw line.
Made the first 2. Alaska needs this 3rd one as well. Perfect from the free throw line. Mike DiGregorio, 6 out of 6.
Just a 6-point lead here for NLEX and a lot of time for Alaska to catch up.
Here's Cruz. Kicks it out. Alas. Extra pass. Ighalo overshoots that time. Dang. Alaska, no rush here.
Taking their time, trying to get that open shot.
Brondial is going to have to put that one up. Not going to beat the shot clock.
A lot of passing there for Alaska, but no, wasn't able to get the open shots. And credit to the defense of NLEX just staying in front, forcing the other extra pass, and no more time there for Alaska.
2 minutes, 30 seconds remain here in this one. First of our doubleheader this Thursday.
Another ball screen here for Kevin Alas. This is where he lives, a great ball screen player.
Kinyahan. A little bit short that time. That might have been the dagger. Banal for three. No.
That could have been big for Alaska, but they still have time. Try to get stops here against NLEX. But if you're NLEX, you want to make sure you execute and not commit any turnovers. Speaking about turnovers, that's just unforced right there. Kinyahan wasn't in the front court yet when Kevin Alas reversed him the ball.
Watch it here. He got to the front court and
But his back foot was still at the behind that half court line, so good call there by the referees.
Jericho Cruz has been one of the players that has stepped up and said, I can take the mantle.
So a while ago it was Kenneth Igalo, now it's Jericho Cruz with a bunch of layups and some mid-range jumpers, already with 13 points, 4 steals for the NLEX Road Warrior.
6-point lead enjoyed here by NLEX. Let's see if the Alaska Aces can take advantage of that turnover.
Let's see what Coach Jeff Carriazo calls here after the timeout.
They need to score, not necessarily a three. Ilagan has been brought back in. Ilagan for three. Just misses. But a foul's going to be called there on Rodney.
And maybe Coach Jeffrey Carriazo was expecting, some firepower, some scoring from RK Ilagan, but he wasn't able to make that three-pointer.
Alaska going to bring it down himself. And now he'll hold on to it. Trying to use some clock. Perfect pass inside. Kinyan all by his lonesome. And Jericho Cruz spotted him.
And NLEX, they caught Alaska sleeping on that roll by JR Kenyahan.
Wild shot not going to work there for Ahanmisi.
So not a lot of good shots here for Alaska in this stretch when they were trying to make a run. And NLEX just getting easy baskets. That's why they have this 8-point lead.
NLEX led early. They found themselves down by 10 in the middle part of the third period. And now they're up by 8. It has been a game of runs. Kinyan thought about it, will bring it closer. Cruz, extra pass, Ighalo. Now Cruz! That rattles out.
Great ball movement there by NLEX. Almost a three-pointer in and out for Jericho Cruz. Expect Alaska to find ways to score here.
No timeout called by Coach Jeffrey. Ilagan launches a three. No. That's going to be it.
And the shots that Alaska took in that last minute or two for this game, shots that they could have made, but I think they could do better in terms of execution.
Put up that three. Long rebound's going to go to Cruz. And he puts it through.
This is the icing in the cake. Jericho Cruz.
Right place at the right time. And Misi, that should count.
As for the quotient system, you'll never know when you're going to need it.
Well, it should. Let's see.
Oh, it's still
Ooh, very
ball's still in his
close.
hands. It's going to be a 10-point win for the NLEX Road Warriors.
And they're going to say, there's confirmation. Fraction too late. 84-74. NLEX is going to win this by 10. As we take a look at who we're going to choose as our best player. Again, we talked about it. Game of runs. Alaska started off with a run of their own, and then Alaska came right back. But in the end, NLEX had the final say. Let's take a look at our best player of the ball game.
And of course, the leader of this NLEX Road Warriors team, Kevin Alas, doing everything for his team. A lot of drives, using the ball screen, creating opportunities for himself and also for his teammates with that 3 assists. So, great moves here by Kevin Alas. Great find from Kenneth Ighalo on that play.
Our next level player of the ball game is brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA. And it's Kevin Alas, and we'll hear from Kevin and from Coach Yeng Kiao on the other side of this break.
Kevin. Kevin, this is your first game after the break. How do you feel?
Of course, medyo pagod kami lahat ngayon
Recording
kasi
in progress.
yung timing nung katawan namin, yung basketball shape namin, kumagay na habol namin. But yan, praise God yung adjustment namin second half, nakabawi kami. And because si Coach Yeng sinabi sa amin may mga aspects ng stats na we need to improve on, especially offensive rebounding, our free throws, ang dami naming minis. So yun.
Coach Yeng, your thoughts po on the game?
Ang hirap maglaro, no? Just trying to get your timing back. Just trying to feel a new environment bago yung court natin. Although napakaganda ng court, kaya lang iba rin talaga yung hindi mo pa nagagamayan. So there are lots of adjustments, no? And of course, the biggest adjustment for us is playing without Kiefer. No? Wala rin si Tony Semerad sa amin, nanganak yung wife niya. Raul Soyud, may konting sprain, so we're trying to buy him time. We saved him up in today's game. So marami struggle. Just staying virus-free. No, there are lots of tests. Meron kaming mga PCR, may mga swab tests, may mga antigen tests. Just staying negative is already a struggle kasi di mo alam kung kailan ka magpa-positive, no? Although we're already in a bubble, no? So there's a battle in two fronts. The battle is yung competition mismo. At the same time, you need to battle against the virus and just being strict with your protocols. No? So, madami, mahirap talaga tong setup. But I think everything is well compensated. The mere fact that we're able to play. No? Yung makalaro ka lang, hindi na bali daanan mo lahat yun.
Let's now take a look at the highlights of the game that just transpired.
So it was a little sloppy to start the game, but Alaska had their run in the first few quarters, and Mavahan Misi was hot in that first few quarters. Meanwhile, JR Kenyahan lived in this area in the post against the big men of Alaska. Great shot there.
First quarter went to NLEX by 1, 2019. The second quarter, it was again nip and tuck, but NLEX did have their way. That time, courtesy of Jericho Cruz.
So a lot of players stepping up for NLEX right here. Jericho Cruz, Kenneth Igalo, and in Alaska, their rookie, Alex Stockton with the athletic move there, driving baseline for that finish.
These game highlights are brought to you by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA, as we go through. JR Kenyahan once again. Still a 1-point lead by NLEX after 2 periods.
It was Abu Tratter right here with a strong move, soft touch on the finish. And it was this time where Alaska kind of pulled away, but NLEX with a run of their own led by this guy, Kevin Alas, with an acrobatic move on the sidestep. We saw a lot of that today.
He has been really their leader on the floor. And JR Kenyahan there with a nice drop step. And NLEX took the third quarter as well, this time up by 4. So they were down by 10 at one stage there in the third.
And right here, Mike DiGregorio heating up for the Alaska Aces with a corner three-pointer after that flare screen. Kevin Alas finding Igalo on the cut, and Kenneth Igalo, one of the heroes, one of the players who stepped up for NLEX. And Jericho Cruz, also a guy that you can rely on when it comes to scoring buckets.
That is our final score, 84-74. Taking this victory are the NLEX Road Warriors. And that does it here for our coverage. Coming up next is Rain or Shine up against Phoenix. That's just a little bit. In behalf of Diego Dario, Anthony Sty here saying thanks for joining us. Till next time, take care. Have a good afternoon ahead. God bless.